Now in their 9th year, the Dombrowskis still manage to scare and entertain audiences with their detailed themes and setups that require months of preparation. In fact, the setup for this year's theme started back Labor Day weekend. Shanley says the most common distraction for students are cell phones and iPods, which keep them from being completely aware of their surroundings. He also added that he encourages students to call DPS for an escort home if they ever find themselves in an unsafe situation. However, a lot of students are still skeptical to call DPS for a ride. Even though Erica knows she can still play competitively, she expects coaching to be a big part of her future plans. Morin says that typically the slopes here at Greek Peak will open by Thanksgiving weekend. However, that was not the case this year, and because of the warm weather, there has been a very, very steep decline in monthly attendance from this time last year. Superstition comes in all different kinds of forms. It could be a ritual handshake, or in Lacey Cole's case, shaving your legs and painting your nails before each series.
Last week, I painted them Easter colors, and then I kind of just put that crackle stuff on top. The way I pick it out is like I just stare at the box, and whatever one jumps out, that's the one I pick to use.
I have to braid Lindsay Taylor's hair before every game. Usually it's a French braid. I pray with Jenna before every game, Jenna Kyra. Like I have to go over there and talk to her and make sure she's feeling good, because then I feel good if my pitcher feels good.
Growing up, I used to chew 2 pieces of bazooka gum for every game. And the first wrapper, I'd rip it a certain way and I'd put it in my right sock. And then the second wrapper, I'd usually read the comic to like whoever was next to me. But I ended up with like 6 cavities after one season, so I just stopped doing that. Every time I run on the field, between like the baseline and the grass, the foul line, I always have to step with my left foot, and then I go onto the field, and then I do my little hop step at second base. Say I'm running out to second base, come out, and then I make sure my left foot touches first, then my right foot, and then I always take off my glove and fix my bracelet, and then I get ready to take ground balls from Kelly at first.
I've been playing softball since I was 4 years old, and all those years, so 19 years now, I've worn a hat every year. I can't wash it. I need to wear it for practice here and for games. God forbid I ever forget one, because I don't know what will happen. People have always said like it's getting pretty nasty as the time of the year goes by, but you know, last year I decided to change it up a little bit, and I got a newer hat, and I wore it for a weekend, actually 2 weekends, and we lost every game. So I blamed all those losses on me and that superstitious treating of the hat. So I don't change it, I don't wash it, and even though it looks kind of gross, I need to suck it up and wear it. We got to keep winning, that's the deal here. And when we lost last year, because of the hat, I'm telling you.
Travelers at Hancock International Airport could be seeing a new security presence at the airport sometime soon. The Syracuse Regional Airport Authority is currently in the process of drawing up requests for proposals for companies that provide security at commercial airports. This move is being made in order to cut down on the $4 million that Hancock International Airport spends yearly on security.
It has reached the point where it is no longer sustainable, and we need to look at other ways of providing that level of security.
Real says that Hancock is spending anywhere from $1.5 to $2 million more than a comparable airport of its size, and that the Syracuse Regional Airport Authority will only be accepting proposals from companies with prior experience in commercial airport security.
We don't want to be the airport that a company, cuts its teeth on in learning how to provide airport security.
Commissioner Reel says the reason the cost of security is so high is because the main source of airport security is provided by overtime Syracuse police officers. In fact, she said about $3.4 million of the total $4 million security cost for the airport is spent on overtime police officers, which has created staffing issues.
Our goal is to work with a private security company to provide some of the service and still maintain a law enforcement presence.
However, that does not necessarily mean the Syracuse Police Department.
The authority can choose to either work with Syracuse Police or another law enforcement agency.
In response, the Syracuse Police Benevolent Association is challenging this decision by the airport. The police union argues that as long as the airport is operated by the city of Syracuse, Hancock International cannot replace the SPD officers without first negotiating the terms with the union. The Syracuse Common Council has given the airport authority the exclusive right to provide security personnel, but the Common Council will have the final say in any hiring.
Once the authority has selected a firm, it has negotiated a contract, then it will have to go back in front of the council to get approval to appropriate the monies to pay for the security.
I'm Aaron Ortega, NCC News. Welcome back to NCC News. I'm Aaron Ortega with sports. Things are starting to heat up on the ice in the Stanley Cup playoffs. After a thrilling 1-0 win in Game 3, the Rangers find themselves just 2 wins away from advancing to the second round. The Rangers will have a chance to pick up one of those 2 wins tonight when they square off against the Senators in Ottawa. The game is scheduled for 7:30. The Sens will make a decision on Matt Carker in tonight's lineup after his 1-game suspension. One player the Senators won't have for tonight's game is team captain Daniel Alfredsson. He didn't suit up for this morning's practice, and he'll miss his 2nd game in a row due to the after effects of being elbowed in the head in Saturday's Game 2. SU goes into tonight's game with an overall record of 27-1 and remains unbeaten at the Carrier Dome so far this season. USF comes into the game unranked in the polls, but don't sleep on the Bulls. They come to town on a 4-game winning streak and find themselves near the top of the Big East standings. The payout for the Mega Millions lottery has reached an all-time high today. Nobody had the $363 million ticket last night, and today the Mega Millions jackpot is up to $476 million. The 911 tape from the Josh Powell murder-suicide in Washington State has been released. The tape features social worker Elizabeth Griffin Hall pleading for help and explaining to the dispatcher that Powell set off an explosion in the house that killed himself and his 2 young sons. It was exactly 1 year ago today that the New York Knicks acquired former SU standout and NBA superstar Carmelo Anthony in the hopes of bringing a championship back to New York. As the Knicks get back to action tonight against the Hawks, though, the biggest superstar in New York right now is Jeremy Lin. Carmelo and Lin will play their 2nd game together tonight against the Hawks at 7:30. After missing 7 games with a groin injury, Anthony teamed up with Lin last Monday night. Lin's hot play continued with 21 points, but Carmelo had a less than memorable night, scoring just 11 points on 4 of 11 shooting as the Knicks fell to the Nets 192. They've been considered a squad that could beat some teams in the NBA. Now, just weeks after winning the national championship, the entire starting 5 of the Kentucky Wildcats will have that chance. The starters, made up of 3 freshmen and 2 sophomores, have all declared for the NBA draft. The draft is tentatively set for June 28th. And now, from the young to the old, Rocky starter Jamie Moyer is proving that things can get better with age. At 49 years, 150 days old, the veteran became the oldest pitcher to win a Major League Baseball game. Moyer went 7 innings against the Padres, scattering 6 hits and 2 unearned runs for the 5-3 victory. Before Moyer, the oldest pitcher to win a game was Jack Quinn of the Brooklyn Dodgers, who was 49 years and 70 days old in 1932.